The darkness is spreading so fast these days. You must become a warrior of the light.
It'll be your ultimate contribution and gift to the world.
Well, if somebody says something out loud, it's 10 times more powerful than if they think it.
Rise and shine!
It's Entspresso time!
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and every morning I bring you a shot of Entspresso to help you believe in yourself more and start your day with confidence. So good morning, grab your coffee, I believe in you, and let's do this. Over to you, Oprah Winfrey.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
And this is the thing, I think I have to just say,
Please say.
Everybody is feeding yourself on the hysteria and the negativity. You gotta stay in the light. But one of the reasons why I was so excited is about A Wrinkle in Time, because the message is that the darkness is spreading so fast these days. You must become a warrior of the light. And the reason that's so meaningful to me is because that's how I've led my whole life. And every moment in that film, I just felt like, I'm just saying what I normally say.
It's true.
and for these times, the darkness is there to show you your light. Look at what has happened. So if you put the focus on, look at what happened with the darkness that showed up in Parkland, and the darkness that showed up on the streets of Ferguson, and the darkness that showed up in many homes in Chicago with shootings and senseless murders. It brings out the best in people. It brings out the best. And so that's what it's there. We live on a planet where there is darkness and light.
The darkness will consume you or serve you. You have a choice. That thing that happened to you where you felt the lowest in your life, the things that bother you about the world that you can't stand seeing, that make you feel like the world is ending and we're in a terrible place, that darkness can either consume you to the point where you give up, to the point where you feel like hope is not possible, there is no path out, and it leads to a path of depression, anxiety, anger, despair. It can consume you, or you can choose to let it serve you. You can choose to be a warrior of the light. You can choose to be the person who says, I'm so outraged by this thing that is happening that I am going to create a world where this doesn't exist anymore. Mahatma Gandhi's be the change that you want to see in the world. And ultimately, I'm a believer that your purpose comes from your pain. If you've read my book, Built to Serve, I walk people through a who, why, how process, and the why is your purpose. And your purpose comes from your pain. That thing that happened to you, think about the most painful moment in your life. The most painful moment in your life, what was it? Not physical pain, right, but emotional pain. When did you feel the most worthless as a human being? That moment in your life. Your purpose is to help other people who currently are like that, and understand that there are millions of people who currently are like that right now. Millions of people. Your message can save them. Your message can serve them. You are a beacon of hope and inspiration for them, but only if you choose to stand up and actually be a voice, to be the warrior, to step into the light. Because that thing that happened to you, you can easily get lost in it. A lot of people do. A lot of people do. One of the people in my movement makers, also named Evan Tinsman, almost killed himself. He was addicted to alcohol, almost killed himself, and was diving down a really nasty, terrible hole. And that could have been overwhelming. That could have led to him actually killing himself. But it could have also led to a lifetime of just feeling like it's hopeless, there is no path out, there's no way to change this, this is what it is, and I hate my life. And instead, he's decided to turn it around by trying to make sure that nobody else has to go through what he went through, by trying to be a voice, by trying to step into the light. And it's through service that you heal. You don't heal through the nasty moments that you've been through the darkness. You don't heal by trying to forget that it existed. The most painful moment in your life, you're not going to heal from it by pretending that it doesn't exist. And this is hard for entrepreneurs because we're positive, we're forward thinking, we want to only think about the brightness. Look at the sun on my face. We want to think about the brightness, right? That's what we want to think about. We want to stay here in the darkness. We want to think about the bright. But sweeping it under the rug and trying to pretend like it didn't happen is not the path. It's always going to continue to show up. The path to healing is service, to help other people who currently are who you used to be. So the way I do it is through creating content, right? I struggled as an entrepreneur, 19 years old, tried everything, was not making money, felt worthless, felt like a loser, felt like a total failure because I was making, $300 a month and couldn't survive. And the thing that saved me was modeling success, was when I finally told myself somebody else must have done this before. And I looked at Bill Gates and how he started Microsoft, and that started the path for me to actually build a business and not be stuck. And so now what have I done for the past 20 plus years is just teach people how they can model success too. The thing that got me out of the hole that I was in was modeling success. Finding people who have done the thing that you want to do and learn from them, apply it to your situation, and you can start to see success as well. That's what now I teach, right? And so same thing for you. We're here learning from Oprah Winfrey. You're here learning from my content. Hopefully you pick up a little nugget every morning. Entspresso, let's go. And that helps you, right? And that takes you to the next spot. And so you're learning from my recipe. What took me so long to figure out, you can now shortcut much faster because you're learning from my recipe. Similarly, other people can learn from your recipe. How you got out of the hole that you were in, you've probably tried so many different things. You tried a million different things. Most of them didn't work. Most of them let you feel like it's not possible, that you are hopeless, that it's never going to work out. But then you found something. You found something that did work. You found something that finally there was light at the end of the tunnel. You were able to see progress. You were able to climb out. Finally. That's teachable. That's something that you can share, you can help other people with. And that's going to ultimately fill you up for the rest of your life. So the darkness that has happened to you in your life, you can choose to either succumb to it or serve from it. It will define you either way. The darkness around you that bothers you, that aggravates you, that keeps you up at night, that makes you feel worthless, that darkness will define you. You just have to choose whether you're going to let it define you in a negative way that sends you down that path of despair, hopelessness, non-possibility, or in a positive way where you get so riled up, so anger/inspired by it that you want to make sure that nobody else ever has to suffer from the thing that you suffered with. It'll be your ultimate contribution and gift to the world. Become the warrior of the light. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, what was your single biggest learning from this video, and how are you going to apply it to your life or business? When you get motivated and then create a specific follow-through plan, when you talk about when, how, and why you're going to take action, be specific, put it in your calendar, you have an over 90% chance of following through versus just a 35% chance if you got motivated but never created your plan. So in the comments below, I want you to write down what is the biggest learning as well as what is your specific plan of action that you're going to take this week to follow through, because when you write it down and you commit to others, you dramatically improve your chances of following through. So let me know down below, because I want to celebrate you. Also, if you want to have more confidence, check out my 254 series, where every day for 254 days, I send you an unlisted video to your email for free to help you build the habit of confidence. The link to join for free is in the description below.
Your number one job is to become more of yourself. They think that success is supposed to happen like that. Become so skilled, so vigilant, so flat out fantastic at what you do that your talent cannot be dismissed.
Well, if somebody says something out loud, it's 10 times more powerful than if they think it. And then as we started to study the data, particularly data that was just reinforced by Christine Porath from Georgetown and Harvard, that negativity is a multiple of 4 to 7 times more powerful than positivity. So think about that. If I say something out loud, it's 10x. If it's negative, it's 4 to 7 times more powerful. So when I say negative things out loud, it's 40 to 70 times more likely that that will happen or cause a result that won't be good for me than if I just didn't say anything. So as we were going into our second year at Alabama, and we were going into our first year at Florida State, and we were ultimately going into our second year at the University of Georgia, we made a bet. What if we could just get our players to not say stupid things out loud? What if we could just do that? Not teach any element of positive thinking, but eliminate conversations about the heat, complaining about coaches, complaining about circumstances, complaining about situations, verbalizing negativity. But we weren't going to lie to them and say, hey, be positive. We just taught them the data. And then what we did was some of the things that you noticed in the book, the stories in and around negativity are incredible.
Tell us some. Bill Buckner was one that took my breath away.
So Billy Buckner, who just passed away recently, was an incredible, an 8-time Gold Glove, a great baseball player for the Boston Red Sox. Well, he made a mistake in sports that would be one of the biggest sport bloopers in history. And in 1986, he let the game-winning run score on a ground ball through his legs that ultimately would give the Mets the World Series. Now, I was just watching an ESPN E60 Jeremy Schaap story, and I saw an interview that was done in 1990 that resurfaced in 1995, where Buckner was interviewed 12 days before the World Series, and he said, you know, the dreams are to win the World Series, and the nightmare would be for me to let the game-winning run score on a ground ball through my legs. You know, and then ultimately that's exactly what would happen. Now, by saying that out loud, what did he do? He didn't make it happen, but he increased the probability. And this is what I want people to understand. Your internal thoughts are all over the place.
I want to push on that.
Yeah.
Do you think that he makes it more likely because it's going to subtly influence his behavior, or because you're talking to some magical deity that then says, well, you said it, and so I'm going to make it happen?
I think that what he did is a subconscious plant. By verbalizing it and knowing that it's 10 times more powerful, he's planting it in his subconscious. He doesn't want it to happen, but it becomes something that's ultimately on his mind, and he gave it more power by verbalizing it.
If you want to change your life for free in the next 30 days, check out my training right here below. Or if you want another awesome video from Oprah Winfrey, check it out right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy them. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.